Hi guys, Tracy here. I have no clue what is going on here. Whoa, I think I have different. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, here we go. I think I got it now. Wow, I got some crazy technical stuff going on here today that hopefully is not going to inhibit us too much. But anyway, I'm Teresa. Welcome to Oils of the Bible. I'm going to be mixing two different um, pieces of information or two different sources together. So you're going to have to forgive me. I kind of ran out of time to merge them together smoothly and seamlessly. So hopefully it makes perfect sense to you in the long run. But bear with me as I toggle around between different slides. And I'm actually going to have to, you're going to have to stare at my face for the first portion of it. And then I'll switch over to some slides for the second portion of it. So welcome. I always love this class. I think it's a perfect time of year to do this right before Christmas. It just gives the story of Christmas so much more meaning, at least to me. So I'm going to start with, talking a little bit about what essential oils are. And I do have some notes here, so that's what I keep referring over here to. But if you've ever enjoyed the scent of a rose or some flowers, or grabbed a peppermint leaf and rubbed it between your fingers, you were smelling the aromatic qualities of essential oils. They're naturally occurring, volatile, aromatic compounds. They're found in seeds and barks and stems and roots and the flowers and different parts of the plants, depending on what plant it is. And they give the plant a distinctive smell. They help protect the plants out in the wild, and they play a role in plant pollination as well. So we're able to bring their intrinsic benefits and beautiful fragrance and use for our own health benefits, which is so awesome that God gave us the gift of plants to help us with our health as well as create beauty within our world. They've been used for thousands of years, which you'll see here shortly. We're just now coming back around to them in our Western model of health and medicine and taking care of people. So it's not anything new, it's just new to us. But so many more people are jumping on the essential oil bandwagon because they're getting more educated, and doTERRA is making it more common. I personally think that doTERRA has been a huge part of creating this big movement more towards essential oils. They're highly concentrated. With doTERRA, they're 100% pure. They're effective, they're natural, they're safe, and they're wonderful tools to have in your home. When you do choose doTERRA, you're choosing the essential oils that are gently and carefully distilled, that have been patiently harvested from the best places on the planet. Anybody can grow lavender. We grow lavender not too far from here, but that's not going to give it the same constituents and the same potency as lavender that's grown in its original climate with the best soil and the best possible conditions for it to grow to its highest potential. And that's what doTERRA does. It searches the world to find the best plants growing in the best place that are going to give us the highest quality oils. They're used for a wide range of emotional and physical wellness applications. So they range from physical to emotional and everything in between. And there's few, if any, undesirable side effects, which, are regular pharmaceuticals seem to always have lots of side effects, whereas essential oils have side benefits. And you only need 1 to 2 drops is a typical application. You don't do a lot, you do a little bit consistently over time. So 1 to 2 drops is all you need to get these little bottles of essential oils to work for you. So hopefully everybody on this call is open to learning about these natural products, or you wouldn't be here. So you can use them for everyday use. You can also use them, as needed when something pops up, but using them every day will really help support your overall health in a big way. So there's 3 ways of using the oils. There's aromatic, which means that they can be distilled. You can, not distilled, they can be diffused in a diffuser, which is a cool mist that comes out of a little machine that is diffusing the oil molecules into the air. You can just open a bottle, take a deep breath, and that is a way of aromatically bringing the oils into your body. You can put a drop right into the palm of your hand, rub your hands together, and take a couple of deep breaths. That's another way of aromatically bringing the oils into your system. They can be very stimulating, very calming, very soothing. They can help cleanse and purify the air. Topically using right on the area that needs it. They can be safely applied. Some oils can be applied neat, which means you can put them right from the bottle onto your skin in the appropriate place. Some oils you want to dilute with a carrier oil. We use fractionated coconut oil, which is just a coconut oil with fat molecules spun out of it so that it's always liquid. It's clear. It has no odor. It's a great base to put essential oils in. So if you dilute essential oils in a fractionated coconut oil base, it kind of allows you to cover more area, and it's like a time-released way of getting the oils into your body. Their chemical structure enables them to pass through the skin for an immediate systematic response. That means the molecules are so small, they can absorb into your skin very, very quickly and get into your blood system within seconds and be distributed through your whole body within 20 minutes. That's pretty impressive. And they've been used in culinary history or in food for a very long time. We just don't realize we're ingesting essential oils, but we are in candies and different types of flavoring. So let's jump right into, oops, we forgot to mention internal. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just talked about putting them in food and we're ingesting them. We don't even know it, but doTERRA oils you can use internally without worrying about them being contaminated in any way. So doTERRA oils are 100% pure. doTERRA tests them with 11 different tests multiple times along the way. Their testing protocols are the highest in the whole industry, and I am totally confident that I can take these oils internally. Now, on the bottle, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a little rectangle and it says supplement facts. That's how you know that you can take this particular oil internally. This is cassia or cassia, and it's spicy. It's kind of considered a hot oil, but it can be taken internally, and I know because of that supplement fact box on it. Some, this one, Cypress does not have a, here it is. Cypress does not have one of those supplement fact box on it. There is no rectangle in there, so Cypress is more for topical or aromatic use. So you can't really take Cypress internally. So with a little bit of base knowledge, you will know these things over time, and it's really a good idea to be able to have a nice resource book where you can quickly go in and look and see which way they can be used. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into the oils in the Bible. And let's see, I'm going to skip some of this. The oils and the plants that produce them were mentioned or are mentioned over 500 times in the Bible. In the Old Testament, they're referred to in 36 of the 39 books, and in the New Testament, they're referenced in 10 of the 27 books of the New Testament. So distillation was different back then than it is now. They used the oils in a different way, but they still use them to help maintain health and wellness. Let's see. There was some distillation process back where in the 384 to 322 BC, where they mentioned that pure water is made by the evaporation of seawater, and that really means nothing in terms of essential oils, so forgive me for reading that. But let me see. There was, and I'm going to come back to that. There was, from my understanding, they would soak the plants themselves in like a fatty oil and let them sit and allow the essential oils to be absorbed into that fatty oil, that fatty substance, and that's how they were able to use the essential oils. Or they would apply the plants right to the skin where needed, and that's how they made use of the essential oils. So they did not use distillation like we do now, but they still knew that the plants were there to help them maintain health and help themselves with the plants. And they knew that God provided those plants for us, for them, to improve health and keep people healthy. Okay, let's see. I'm going to skip that because I'm going to come back to that. The earliest records of essential oils come from India, Persia, and Egypt. And both Greece and Rome traded extensively in oils and ointments throughout the Oriental countries, with the Oriental countries. So here's where it says they placed the flowers, the roots, and the leaves in a fatty oil. So we used the same plants that they did. We just have a little bit different way of extracting the essential oils than they did back in biblical times. All right, hang on. I'm skipping some of this. We're going to jump right into myrrh. And again, forgive me, I'm going to jump back and forth once I pull up my little PowerPoint slideshow. But we're going to jump to myrrh. So myrrh is one of the essential, or one of the gifts of the Magi, or the three wise men that were taken to Jesus: frankincense, myrrh. So they're always kind of paired together. And they were first mentioned in the Bible in the story of Joseph and his brothers in Genesis 37. And this is a quote from there. And they sat down to eat bread. They lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead. This is showing that I don't know my Bible like I should. With their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. Here's another one from Psalms 45. All thy garments smell of myrrh and aloes and cassia, out of the ivory palaces, whereby they have made thee glad. So there's a lot more quotes. I have pages and pages of quotes, but we're not going to go into too many of them. But they are referenced, and from my understanding, myrrh was used quite commonly back in those times. It kind of helped preserve food and liquids in that hot environment. Here's some more quotes. Here's one from Mark 15, verse 23. And they gave him to drink wine mingled with myrrh. So myrrh was served a purpose there, and it was just common for people to use myrrh as part of what they were doing with their foods and their liquids. And it was very, very valuable at that time. It was valued as its weight in gold. So it's a very valuable oil. It's derived from a thorny tree, and it's been used throughout history as a perfume and incense and as a health, aid. It's also was used for embalming and religious ceremonies. It's a very powerful cleanser. It has powerful cleansing properties, especially for the mouth and the throat. It's very soothing to the skin. It promotes a smooth, youthful looking complexion and promotes emotional balance and well-being. So you're going to hear me talk about the physical benefits of the oil and the emotional benefits of the oil, because there's always both. Essential oils affect people on multiple levels. You can add 1 to 2 drops to your toothpaste. You can add a little bit, 1 or 2 drops to your moisturizer. I know somebody who does this to help reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. We all need that. You can add a little bit to a 1/4 cup of water with a little agave or a little honey to help ease stomach upset. You can gargle, put 1 drop in a little bit of, I would put it in warm water and gargle with it for an effective mouth rinse. You can diffuse it when tensions are running high, so it impacts everybody in that room, in that area. Diffuse during the holidays to maintain peaceful feelings throughout your home. So there's myrrh, and we may touch back on that when I switch over to the other presentation. So the next one is cassia or cassia or cassia. I've heard it multiple ways in terms of how to say it, but here's my cassia. I need more because this bottle is empty, but it's very cinnamony. It's very, I like to say it's a sister to cinnamon, but you can use cinnamon and cassia kind of interchangeably from my understanding. And it was one of the ingredients in the recipe for the holy anointing oil given to Moses. There's a Exodus 30 quote. It's somewhat long, but it's telling about the value of these essential oils. So I'm going to read it for you anyway. Moreover, the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take thou also unto thee principal spices of pure myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet cinnamon, even 250 shekels, and some other oil, I don't know what it is, and of cassia, 500 shekels, and then of an olive oil, and thou shalt make it an oil of holy ointment, and it shall be an holy anointing oil. So anointing was a way of getting it on topically onto people. So when you hear the word anointing, that is a topical use of essential oils. So cassia, what can it be used for? It's very strong, very spicy. It's been used for thousands of years as well to maintain physical health and promote emotional wellness. It was mentioned a few times in the Old Testament, and it's a warming oil, so it helps promote healthy immune function. So during the cold months, which is right about now, it's really helpful to diffuse that because of its warming properties and its spicy scent. And because it is irritating, you're going to want to dilute it. So if you use cassia on your skin, dilute. Or just apply it to your feet, where your feet have very strong, tough skin, and it should not irritate your feet, but you're going to have to experiment with it. And then your feet will just absorb it right up into your body. So either put it on your feet, if you're going to put it elsewhere, dilute. It can be very soothing to the body when applied to the skin. And if you use it in cooking, you can use it as a replacement for cinnamon, which I have done. You're going to want to use one drop, or dip a toothpick into the oil bottle, take it out and stir whatever you're making with that toothpick. It is intensely strong. You can diffuse it, of course. It would be awesome to diffuse. Can take it internally to help with healthy cardiovascular system function. So it's going to be good for digestion and your cardiovascular system if you take it internally in a veggie cap. It's going to support immune system. It's very uplifting. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to talk about for myrrh. The next one is sandalwood. Oops, see, I just touched. Now it's going to irritate my eye because I just touched the bottle and touched my eye. Oh boy, that's embarrassing. So sandalwood is referred to as aloes in the Bible. So when you hear the word aloes, they're really talking about sandalwood. So it's not the same thing as aloe vera, which is, a plant. So let's see what kind of quote I can give you. From Proverbs 7, I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. John 19, verse 39 to 40. And there came also Nicodemus, which at the first came to Jesus by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100-pound weight. Then took they the body of Jesus and wound it in linen cloths with the spices, as the manner of the Jews, is to bury. So let's learn a little bit about sandalwood. Let's see. It was highly valued for centuries. It was used as incense in religious ceremonies. So burning of incense was an aromatic way of breathing those health benefits in from the different plants. So incense burning is aromatic use of essential oils. They just did it a little bit differently than we do. It's used in religious ceremonies, enhancing meditation. Egyptians use it for embalming as well. It's very good for your skin. It helps reduce the appearance of skin imperfections, and it promotes a smooth, healthy complexion. It's very enhancing to your mood, and it's very, very grounding. Any wood oil from wood or roots or a tree is very, very grounding. So it's great for it's great for diffusing. I don't know why I keep mixing those two words up. Again, it's good for healthy looking skin. You could put a drop in your moisturizer. We already said it enhances mood. This is an interesting thing that you might want to try. For an at-home spa experience, you get a big bowl of hot steaming water, take it off the stove, apply a few drops of sandalwood to your face, put your head over the bowl, drape a towel over it, and just allow that to, steam your face, and your skin's going to feel really nourished and rejuvenated after that. Plus, you get to breathe all of that in. You can add a few drops, 1 or 2 drops, to wet hair to help restore moisture and give your hair a silky shine. You can just, breathe it in from your hands or from the bottle. That's going to lessen tension and balance mood. Diffuse it in your bedroom after a long, stressful day, right at bedtime. It's going to help with a restful night's sleep. If you have some big presentation during the day, you could, again, breathe it in or apply it to your wrist, smell it from your wrist, put it on the back of your neck, and it's going to help you get through that presentation. It will calm you enough. Put it in your bath. Put a few drops in a handful of Epsom salts and disperse the Epsom salts into the bath water. It's going to promote relaxation and reduce stress. That sounds wonderful. Another oil from the Bible is cedar wood. Cedar wood came from the famous cedar of Lebanon, and it was just a type of wood that was native to northern and western mountains in the Middle East. Now, those forests are pretty much gone now. And you can't really get oil from those original trees anymore. But we do have the modern cedar wood tree, which is the closest relative of those ancient trees, where we're able to get our cedar wood. The Egyptians used cedar wood for embalming because one of the key elements in cedar wood has a pesticidal effect, which kept insects away from the body. So that was the reason they used cedar wood for embalming. King Solomon, King David used this wood to build their palaces. And most importantly, cedar wood was used to help build the temple itself, the holy temple. Let's see if I can find a quote that's not too long. Let's see. All right. 1 Kings 6, verses 15 through 16. And he built the walls of the house within with boards of cedar, both the floor of the house and the walls of the ceiling. And he covered them on the inside with wood and covered the floor of the house with planks of fir. And he built 20 cubits on the sides of the house, both the floor and the walls with boards of cedar. And it continues on. But yeah, I have at least 6 quotes here referring to cedar wood. From Jeremiah, from Isaiah, from the Song of Solomon. So lots of references to cedar wood in the Bible. So what is cedar wood? What benefits can it hold for us? So it's a very warm, woodsy scent. It's a very grounding. It evokes feelings of wellness and vitality when it's diffused. If you apply it topically, it has clarifying properties, and you can use it to kind of do a little massage on yourself or someone else to help relax and soothe the mind and the body. Diffuse it at the end of a tough, difficult day to create a relaxing environment. You can add 1 or 2 drops to your facial routine, again, either to your cleanser or to your moisturizer. You can put a drop on a cotton ball, place it in a closet or a storage area to keep moths away. You can diffuse it, dilute it with fractionated coconut oil or a lotion or a moisturizer to put it on your skin. Let's see, it's a good facial toner. And if you notice a fresh skin imperfection, apply 1 drop right to the affected area for it to see immediate improvement in the appearance. I use cedar wood as part of my bedtime diffusing routine. It helps promote a restful night's sleep. And if a child wakes up scared, you can apply a drop or 2 to the bottom of their feet to help them return to a peaceful, restful state of sleep. And of course, it naturally repels insects. Okay, now we're going to get to the granddaddy and the king of oils, which we love to hear about this time of year. So we're going to talk about frankincense. Frankincense, again, was taken to baby Jesus. And I know when I was growing up and I would hear the story of the 3 wise men taking frankincense, myrrh, and gold to the baby Jesus, I'm like, what's that perfume? Why are they taking perfume over to this baby? Big whoop. Well, now I understand it was essential oils they were taking. They were providing for the health and the wealth of that baby and that family. And they totally understood how valuable those essential oils were in terms of the health of that baby and mom and the family in general. So frankincense and myrrh were a gift of love for sure, a gift of health. So frankincense has been traded in the Arabian Peninsula and in North Africa for more than 5,000 years. There's actually a mural depicting sacks of frankincense on the wall in the temple of an ancient queen, an ancient Egyptian queen, and I'm not going to try to butcher her name. And this would have been during the time of Moses. Frankincense is one of the incenses described in the scriptures. I believe there's the Catholic Church, if I'm not mistaken, they burn frankincense still to this day. I love the smell of that. It was used by Jews, Greeks, and Romans. And here's a little quote from the Old Testament that says, "All those from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and frankincense, and shall bring good news, the praises of the Lord." That's from Isaiah 60. Frankincense is also mentioned in the Song of Solomon. It appears in Exodus 30. And the Lord said unto Moses, "Take unto thee sweet spices, I don't know, 3 different spices that I cannot pronounce. Take these sweet spices with pure frankincense. Of each shall there be like a weight." So here God is directing Moses in the creation of the holy anointing oils, which we already talked about. And it was offered on the altar in the tabernacle. And just as a side note, the altar was made of pure gold, and the anointing oil poured on the priest and the furniture in that tabernacle included myrrh. So there was gold, frankincense, and myrrh on the altar in the great tabernacle. Okay, so again, frankincense is often linked to myrrh, and you kind of see them as brothers, if you want to think that. They're somewhat similar in properties as well. They're kind of created the same way from a resin out of the bark of trees. Very prized, very precious, and known for its extraordinary health benefits. It was used during religious ceremonies. Ancient Egyptians used frankincense resin for everything from perfume to salves for soothing the skin. It's really rejuvenating to the skin and helps reduce the appearance of imperfections, skin imperfections. It's known to support healthy cellular function. So when inhaled or diffused, frankincense promotes feelings of peace, relaxation, satisfaction, and overall wellness. You can put some in your moisturizer and then apply it every day. And I know somebody who did that, and she just happened to discover a few weeks later that her headaches were gone. And that's the only thing she can attribute it to. So she was using it for fine lines and wrinkles and skin imperfections in her moisturizer, but she got the side benefit of it clearing up her headaches that she had had every day for years. Let's see, it's very warming and very soothing, so you could rub it on your hands after a hard day of working, with your hands. You can apply it to the bottoms of your feet to promote feelings of relaxation and balance your mood. You want to support healthy cellular function, put a couple drops in an empty veggie cap, pop that in your mouth. It is referred to as the king of oils, and when in doubt, use your frankincense. It's good for everything and anything. Okay, and I'm going to come back to a few more things about frankincense here shortly. So the next oil I'm going to talk about is spikenard. Spikenard is kind of, did I do it right? There it is. Spikenard is an interesting oil. with an interesting smell. Let's see. Let me see what I want to share. It was commonly, but sparingly used to flavor food among the Romans. And it pops up regularly in a Roman cookbook that dates back from the late 4th or the early 5th century AD. That's interesting. I did not know that. And again, it's one of those ingredients in the creation of the holy anointing oil that was mentioned in Exodus. Here's from the Song of Songs, from the Song of Solomon. A bridegroom sings of spikenard. And no, I'm not going to sing it. Your plants are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits, fragrant henna with spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with every kind of incense tree, with myrrh and aloes and all the finest spices. And of course, in John 12, verses 1 through 10, less than a week before Passover, Mary, one of the sisters of Lazarus, who was raised from the dead by Jesus, used a pint of pure spikenard to anoint Jesus's feet. And of course, people protested about that because that ointment could have been sold for 300 denarii, which was about a year's wages back at that point in time. And they wanted the money from that to be given to the poor instead of used to anoint Jesus's feet. So it's very expensive stuff, but Mary knew what she was doing when she was anointing his feet with that expensive essential oil. Remember, she wiped his feet with her hair. So spikenard. Let's see. It comes from the roots of the plant and has been valued for centuries. It's traditionally has been used to anoint people of high honor. It's used to uplift mood, and promote relaxation. It also promotes healthy, clean skin. Today, it's commonly used in perfumes and relaxing massage oils. We get our spikenard from Nepal, where we are able to support and provide a steady stream of income for the harvesters and the distillers. So in the past, they would have to work with middlemen who were always trying to gouge them and not give them correct, fair wages. And they only paid them when the harvest came in. doTERRA has gone in and established a more positive partnership with them and are able to provide a constant income at a fair price all through the year for the harvesters and the distillers. So doTERRA is uplifting that particular, every part of the world where doTERRA goes, they are very uplifting. But in these remote areas where this is, where spikenard is harvested, they really need that income to help their economy there, and that's what doTERRA is providing. So it's very uplifting. It promotes feelings of calmness and relaxation. It's very grounding and very purifying to the skin. You can put it on the back of your neck, on your temples, to help you be calm and relaxed. You can put it in, again, a moisturizer or a cream to help soften and smooth skin. And you can add 1 or 2 drops to your favorite facial cleanser or anti-aging product to promote healthy, glowing skin. Okay, now this is where I'm going to switch over to another PowerPoint because this particular source that I'm using starts to talk about some doTERRA proprietary blends, and I just don't like that. So we're going to switch over to this little slideshow that I quickly put together and talk from just these slides. So here's Matthew 2, little quote. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and on entering the house, found the child with Mary, his mother. They prostrated themselves and did him homage. They opened their coffers and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So again, something to think about. Why did the wise men bring Jesus, Mary, and Joseph the gifts of frankincense and myrrh? Because they knew the health benefits. And we just talked a little bit about how these oils were used 2,000 years ago. And today we can reap the benefits from them as well and use them in similar ways that they used them back then. So here's an interesting quote from Ezekiel 47. Along both banks of the river, fruit trees of every kind shall grow. Their leaves shall not fade, nor their fruit fail. Every month they shall bear fresh fruit, for they shall be watered by the flow from the sanctuary. Their fruit shall serve for food, and their leaves for medicine. So essential oils really are ancient plant-based medicines that we get to use in this day and age for ourselves. That's what's so exciting about these oils. So they were used for healing, cleansing. We already said they were mentioned more than 500 times. The oils back then were often mixed into a carrier, like we mix ours in with a carrier oil, such as fractionated coconut oil. But this was referred to as resin, gum, or balm. So their words were slightly different from ours. And this is where I learned that burning incense was their way of aromatically using the oils. And there's 3 quotes there from Kings, Numbers, and Leviticus. And behold, there came a man of God out of Judah by the word of the Lord to Bethel when Jeroboam was standing upon the altar and burning incense. So you can see the mist or the little, mist, the little smoke from the incense. It looks like a diffuser. That looks like what comes out of my diffuser. Anointing, that again is their word for topical use. And there's a couple of quotes, one from Exodus, one from Mark, and one from Psalms. I'll read the one from Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Mark 6, this is interesting. They expelled many demons, anointed the sick with oil, and worked many cures. So with your understanding, your new understanding that the oils are essential oils, just take that in, what that means. They anointed the sick with oil. It just wasn't cooking oil, it was essential oil. It just gives me a new respect for these oils, knowing that they were used for thousands and thousands of years, and they were held in very high regard. So this is the way they used them internally. They added some type of gum resin that was a myrrh to wine. This prevented the wine from turning sour and also acted as a narcotic to ease pain. Soldiers and shepherds drank laced wine to endure cold, damp nights. And it was offered to Jesus just before he was nailed to the cross. So again, these things were just part of their daily activities, their daily way of doing life. And now that we understand them, we can see that using these oils on a daily basis would probably be beneficial to us as well. Here's a few things to refer back to frankincense. It was used as a form of commerce. I think we mentioned it was valued even more so than gold. It was used to anoint the newborn son of kings and priests. This is something we did not mention, that it was thought to assist one in the transition of death, used for embalming and perfume. So people still use this nowadays to help their loved ones transition through the death process. But up in this corner, you can see those look like little hard candies. That's resin. Those are frankincense resin or frankincense tears. Frankincense is a very labor-intensive essential oil to get. That's why it's so expensive. It's very hazardous to get, and it's very labor-intensive. So if you're buying a bottle of frankincense somewhere else off a shelf and it's $10, I will guarantee you that it is not 100% pure, because nobody can make or source frankincense for $10 a bottle. It's just not going to happen. That means there's probably a very little bit of frankincense in there, and most of it is carrier oil. Oh yeah, it supports the respiratory system. And it enhances other oils when layered on top. So frankincense is an enhancer. So if you have an oil that you just put on and you want to like give it an extra punch, then you put some frankincense on top of it. So it never hurts to add a drop of frankincense to a recipe or finish off a layer, like if you're layering some oils on for a certain reason, finish off with a layer of frankincense. And you can see on the side here where that hand is, that's another part of the process of getting frankincense. Cypress. Did we talk about cypress? We talked about cedar wood, but I do not think we talked about cypress. So cypress, there's a quote there from Isaiah. It's the tree itself is renowned for its durability. And St. Peter's in Rome, their doors are made from cypress. And even after 1,000 years, there's no signs of decay. And some biblical scholars believe that cypress might have been the gopher wood referred to in the building of Noah's Ark. And there's some pictures of cypress. You can see cypress trees around us. See if they smell the same. Yep, they do. But I would never want to use a cypress tree around here where I live, because I know the properties are going to be different than if you get cypress from the best place on the planet. Then I know the quality of the cypress is going to be way higher. So it supports the lymphatic system, healthy cardiovascular system. It's very soothing to sore muscles. It can give you a boost of energy. It's very purifying, protecting, and refreshing. And it is referred to as the oil of motion and flow. And if I had my emotional book, I would read a little bit for you from that. But it's the oil of motion and flow in terms of emotions as well. If you have some stuck emotions, you can start working with cypress to help release those emotions and allow them to flow more naturally. Okay, we already spoke about myrrh. You can see the gentleman on the right there is at a myrrh tree, so you can see their interesting looking trees. And I think that's it. I put in a bunch of empty slides because I was trying to put some more pictures in there, but I ran out of time, so that's why there's blank slides there. So forgive me. But, so I did want to, that's going to wrap up all of our essential oils from the Bible. And I did want to refer to December promotions, if you haven't already seen this. Today is the 11th. You have a few more days to get a free holiday joy with this cute little topper. That's for people who are on the loyalty rewards program, which is just a monthly auto ship program that is free to start, can end anytime. You can customize it every single month, but by buying at a certain level, which is 125 PV or about $125, you get a free oil every month. And then you can also buy Arborvitae or Arborvitae all month at 10% off. Arborvitae is a good substitute for Melaleuca, especially if you're using Melaleuca, but you might not want to use it around your pets. You can substitute that with Arborvitae. Arborvitae is really good to diffuse to help repel insects. Lots of other good things about Arborvitae. And then, of course, you can get free frankincense with any 200 PV order. Anybody can get that promotion. It's a wonderful promotion. Watch your PV. It's PV. It's not dollars. So you want to make sure you're ordering over 200 PV. Every product, every oil, every blend has a PV or a point value attached to it. That's what you look at before you hit your process button, and make sure you're just over 200 PV, and then frankincense will pop into your shopping cart. So many of us purposefully wait until December to get our free frankincense because it is one of the pricier oils. So I'm going to thank you for joining me. Forgive me for kind of jumping between two presentations. I just ran out of time and I could not pull it together more seamlessly. But I'm sure you'll forgive me for that. But, doTERRA does mean gift of the earth. And, we are here on this earth to use all of God's creations for our health and for our well-being. And plants and essential oils are part of that. So I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. If you have any questions, there's my email. If you don't already have it, feel free to get a hold of me. You can personal message me via Facebook, although I prefer my Gmail account. I prefer email, but you can try personal messaging me. I just might not get to it right away. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, do a little bit of research on your own, and enjoy your oils of the Bible. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.